Good afternoon, student. Today we'll discuss our second experiment, which is based on logistic regression. So the problem statement is heart disease prediction using logistic regression. Here we are going to use a Framingham heart study dataset. Okay. So our problem statement is we want to predict the heart disease. Okay, and there will be some parameters. Okay, from which we can predict the heart disease. So do you remember our steps? So first we need to download this data set. So we'll search for this. Okay, and this is the web page of that data set. Okay, you can download that data set. Okay, and this is the file. It contains only a single file, framingham.csv file. Okay, so let me open that file. Okay, these are the values. So first one is male. Okay, so let us interpret this data. So total we have how many attributes? Okay, total 16 attributes are there. Now so first step is over. We have downloaded the data set. Now we will try to understand the data set. Okay, so most of the information about the data set will be available on the Kaggle homepage of that data set. Okay, so if you click on a data and there you click on a columns. Okay, so now here also they are indicating 16 columns. Okay, now if you see, there will be some information about the columns. Okay, so now this first column is male. Let me open the Excel sheet also. Okay, here we have a male. Okay, so it represents 0 represents female, 1 represents male. Okay, so that is the interpretation of first column. Next one is age. It is the age at the exam time. Okay, so it was the age of that patient at the time of taking that test. The next one is education. Okay, so obviously the result of the prediction will not be based on education. Okay, so education means one, some high school, two represents high school or GED, then three represents some college or vocational school, four represents college. Okay, so it is not useful for our prediction. Then current smoker, so here the values are 0 for non-smoker and 1 for smoker. So smoking will be a major cause for the heart related disease. Okay, so this attribute will play a major role. Then attribute is cigarettes per day, number of cigarettes smoked per day. So it will be on average. Okay, so if the smoker, if we have one for a smoker, so current smoker, okay, then we will have average cigarettes smoked by that person per day. Okay, if it is 0, current smoker if 0, then we expect cigarettes per day should be 0. Then BP meds. Okay, so 0 represents not on blood pressure medication. Okay, meds stands for medication. 0 not on blood pressure medication. 1 represents is on blood pressure medication. Then prevalent stroke. Okay, so we have 0 and 1 here. Okay, so 0 represents okay, so if you search for the this data set, you will get further more details about that. So this prevalent stroke represents whether or not the patient has previously had a stroke. Okay, so it will be a previous stroke history of the patient. Then prevalent hype, so that represents whether or not the patient was hypertensive. Okay, then next is diabetes. 0 represents no, 1 okay, easy diabetic patient. Okay, so 0 and 1. Then total cholesterol value. Okay, then this cis BP stands for systolic BP. Okay, this is the means reading for that patient. Then diabetic BP, I think dia stands for diabetic patient, no, systolic blood pressure. Then BMI. Okay, so the BMI value of that patient. Then heart rate. Okay, so these are all attributes of that particular patient. Okay, then glucose level, then 10 years CHD, and this 10 years CHD stands for 10-year risk of coronary heart disease. It will be 1 or 0. Okay, and this is the variable that we want to predict. Okay, so this logistic regression comes under supervised learning. Okay, so we have a value for this last variable, that is 10 years CSD. Okay, so we will train our model, okay, and then we will evaluate our model. Okay, so we have downloaded the dataset, we have understood the dataset. So total 16 total 16 attributes are there. Okay, next step is to clean the dataset. Okay, so why cleaning is required? Okay, so let me show you the Excel sheet. Okay, and if you don't find a reading for particular attribute for a particular patient, we put a null there. Okay, as you can see here, we have NA. Here also we have NA. Okay, so this is just like a nulls in databases. Okay, and if you read this CSV, it will come as NaN, not a number. Okay, and this such nulls will create a problem while prediction. Okay, so what we can do, either we can replace this NA by the average of this whole column, or you can simply delete this column. Okay, so these are the two ways in which we can handle this NaN. Okay, either you delete this entire row, or you replace this value by a average of that particular column. Okay, so here you will get so average is 226, so you can replace this value by 226. Okay, so that will not create that much difference. Okay, so that is regarding cleaning the data set. Now understanding the problem statement. Okay, so now we are clear with the problem statement. So in the data set we have various parameters for a particular patient. Okay, and based on those parameters we can easily predict whether that patient may have heart disease or not. Okay, and logistic regression is a simple classification model. Okay, so it will give unlike linear regression, in linear regression we have seen that we try to plot a line, right? Okay, so it can predict a continuous value, but logistic regression will give us a binary result, whether that patient will have heart disease or not. Okay, then deciding the model. Okay, so we are going to use logistic regression model and deciding the libraries. Okay, so let us discuss which libraries are required. So basically we will need pandas first to read a CSV file. Okay, we have seen this function read.csv. Then we can understand the dataset by using describe, that we have seen in the first practical. Okay, now this isNull.sum. So let me show the result of isNull.sum. So if you execute this function on our data frame, okay, so I have read that CSV in this data frame df. Okay, and if I execute this command, so we'll get the number of nulls for a particular attribute. So we have 105 nulls in education column, 388 for glucose column. Okay, and we have seen two strategies in order to deal these null values. Either you can delete the row, right? So how many rows we need to delete? Okay, so roughly it will be addition of this much. Okay, so how many means what is the percentage of data loss? How many rows are there? That is 4240. This is for male column, and we have 0 nulls for male. So these many records are there, and we are going to lose around 400, around 500 tuples from them. Okay, so it is better to replace isNull by a mean. Okay, and this is the function to replace the data with the help of a mean. You find a mean for that particular column and you replace the NN value by that mean. Okay, so this is regarding okay, so that is regarding pandas library. Okay, so I have noted here, either either you drop that axis or you can replace that by a mean. Okay, now next one is NumPy, then matplotlib for plotting. Now we are familiar with this train underscore test underscore split. Now we are dividing our data set into 80 to 20 ratio. Okay, so 80% will be used for the training, 20% will be used for testing. Okay, so this is the function for that. Then we are going to use logistic regression. It comes under SK, that is scikit-learn library. Okay, then we have a fit, okay, and we have a predict function for prediction. As you can see, we are fitting a model on the trained data set, okay, and we are predicting based on the testing data set. Okay, so we always evaluate on the data set that we have not used for the training. Okay, then so this is our predicted value, okay, and um, our our actual value will be in y test. Okay, so y prediction is the prediction by the model, and y test will be the actual values. Okay, so this y test and y prediction. Now this is a classification model, right? And generally we find out the confusion matrix for a classification result. Now I will explain what is confusion matrix, but before that, remember y test are the actual values, okay, and y underscore pred are the predicted values by our model. Okay, so the difference, if y test value is 1 and if the prediction is 1, that means accurate result. Then if y test value is 1 and predicted value is 0, that means that is error. Okay, so generally for such classification tasks we find out the confusion matrix. Okay, and what is confusion matrix? Let me show you the data in our 10 years CSD column. So we have 0 and 1s. Okay, so 20% of this data will be there in y test. Okay, and then if you plot such points, okay, so now this in this diagram, let us consider this gray points represent one value, that means that person has CHD, that is coronary heart disease, and these hollow points are representing zero value. Okay, and this circle is representing the result of our prediction. Now this represents our model is telling that these points are 1. Okay, now that means these are errors, right? Actually these values are 0, but our model is telling that this is 1. Okay, such points are known as false positive. Our model is telling these points are positive falsely. Okay, so these are the false positive. Now these are correct results. They are actually one value and our model is telling that this is 1. Okay, so these are known as true positive. These are positive and our model is true. Now these are true negatives. Now our model has not selected these points, okay, and so that's why true, our model is true, and these are negative points. Now these points should be selected. These were ones, right? Okay, so our model has not selected these points. Okay, so these are false negative. Model is telling that this is negative falsely. Okay, so this is false negative. So this false negative and the false positive are the error made by our model. Okay, and based on this we determine the parameters, that is known as precision and recall. Okay, so what is precision? So here we have, okay, how many selected items are relevant. Okay, so we have selected this, okay, we have selected this circle, and out of that how many items are relevant, that is precision. Okay, and what is recall? How many relevant items are selected. Okay, so our data points were this, right? On the left hand side we have interested data points, okay, ones, right? Okay, and out of that we have selected only this much part. Okay, so this is our recall of our model. Okay, if you are able to select all the data points, that means your recall will be 1. So precision represents how many selected items are relevant, okay, and recall represents how many relevant items are selected. Okay, so these are the two parameters. Okay, based on that we can evaluate our classification model. So from the name itself you can get the idea of this two metrics, that is precision. So what is the precision of your model? Okay, so if your false positive is very less, that means you are selecting very correct items. Okay, and recall means what? If you are able to recall all the data points, okay, then your recall will be more. Okay, so precision and recall should be more closer to the 1. Okay, so that you will get from the confusion matrix. Okay, and so you have to count the numbers. Okay, so in this example, okay, so here we can draw this matrix 3 by 3 matrix. Okay, so total number of data points are 165. Okay, in our case it will be a 20% of 4200 rows. Actually it is no, and our model is predicted no. Okay, so we have such 50 data points. Okay, so true negative, that is the model is telling negative truly. Okay, then actually it is no and predicted yes. Okay, so it is false positive. Our model is telling positive falsely. Okay, so we have 10. Then okay, this is one example. Okay, actual yes and predicted no. Okay, so our model is telling negative falsely. Okay, so this is false negative, and actually it is yes and predicted yes, that means true positive. Okay, so this false positive and false negative represents error. Okay, and let me show you the result. Okay, so you will get such results for any model. Okay, so here we have precision around 0.85, recall around 0.99, and F1 score is calculated based on precision recall. Okay, let me show you the formula for F1 score. Okay, so precision is true positive divided by true positive plus false positive. Okay, recall is true positive divided by true positive plus false negative. Okay, and F1 score will be here only. Yes, it is 2 times precision into recall divided by precision plus recall. Okay, so for this practical you have to find out the confusion matrix, and you can actually plot the confusion matrix like this. So this is about confusion matrix. So the output of this practical should be, you should be able to find out the confusion matrix of this model. Okay, so we'll stop here. Now actually the deadline of this practical was 19th of September, but I will extend the deadline to 30th September. Okay, so try to complete this lab before that. If you have any doubt, okay, you let me know. I have given the overall idea to you. Okay, so what you have to do. Okay, so we'll stop here. Thank you. Miss one point that I wanted to discuss. Now we have total 16 attributes. Okay, and we want to predict this 10-year CSD value. Okay, so this total 15 attributes are not necessary to predict this value. Okay, for example, this education. Okay, so this disease is not based on the education of that particular person. Okay, so what you can do, so this 15 will be there in our x variable. Okay, so let me show you the function. Okay, so this x are our independent variable. Okay, so this 15 attributes will be there in x, and in y we will have 10-year CSD column. Okay, so what you can do at the start, you consider all the 15 in x. Okay, and you proceed, and then one by one you try to remove the attributes. Okay, and see the result on precision value and recall value. If we remove one particular attribute, and if there is no more than 1% of change, then that attribute is not useful. Okay, so your aim should be to find out such important attributes out of these 15 attributes. Okay, those that you can include in your conclusion. So in the conclusion you can write that this coronary heart disease is greatly dependent on this, for example, these 4 parameters. Your aim should be to find such attributes from this total 15 attributes. Okay, thank you.